Welcome back, guys, to Trails of Cold Steel, where last episode we found out that Julian and Kano, two boys of Legram, had gone missing, having possibly taken a boat out to Lohengrin Castle. Our students, of course, decided to give chase and entered the shimmering castle at night, finding spirits within and a barrier preventing their exit. The group, suspicious of Emma's knowledge, searched for the boys inside, locating them but still unable to leave. They then looked to cut off the barrier at its source, and now find themselves beset upon by a Nosferatu. So the battle begins. It has ads as well.
Go!
That's the more worrying thing about this, is just all the additionals that are on the outside edge. We need to get rid of them ASAP, as well as dealing with the Nosferatu itself, who is level 49. I don't have anything encompassing at this point. I mean, I could go with a Gale Slash and try to just knock two out, but I want to get a Motivate too, you know? Managed to miss one. Luckily, I won't get a counter on that. Medium assist isn't that bad when it comes in nicely. Can I get any more of these? No, only one can be hit. Right beam. I mean, we could go Gigant Breaker and just wipe out the screen at this point.
Come on, Lammy!
That takes out a few of them. Right, Nosferatu still stands before us.
Analyzing the enemy's vitals.
And we can get our scan.
All complete.
An immortal king from ancient legends with authority over souls takes the souls of the innocent and devours them. Please, please, no evil thing. But he's susceptible to mute. Does that mean he's a spellcaster of some variety in that sense? And we can maybe abuse this fact? Wow, that made my special useful. I mean, I did do quite a bit of damage to him, sure. But, you know what I mean, at that point, you're just kind of like, So, what was that for again? Why did I do that? It just literally came straight back. And I can't get any delay on anyone else. So I say that's a bit of a bother for me.
Arcus, activate.
Garden of Nightmares. That's an AoE, and it's sent Lord asleep just as I fashioned her.
Yes, sir.
Which means we need to move a little bit. We need to think about spreading out.
There.
That is not spreading out. Oh, and she's frozen too.
Okay.
Oh, what do you mean okay? Nothing is okay! Do I use Lord Alberian to just put some people out again? I mean, I do have Recuria, right? Which would get some guys running again, sure.
Go!
Apart from that, we do have Gale, which I can hit only two of them with. And we got a spell coming in from that side over there. When is that spell actually landing? That spell isn't landing for a while.
Second form, Gale!
The annoying thing is I can't even Gale kill them.
Yeah.
That could death blow as well. We sealed the boss randomly. And down she goes again. On a critical. That's a spell reflect for her so she'll survive, but it's about the rest. This is nasty damage that's coming out here.
My turn.
I can take out one, obviously, and then there'll be some other guys' turns in the meantime. I really need to get a heal going. Right, we're going to have to steal that critical. Obviously, I need to
do something that will hit this guy too to just take him out. If I go brilliant spin and do it right on the edge there, that spreads some people out a little bit more.
No escape. Yeah.
Who do we get ready to do this critical? Rean, or do we let you nuke? The annoying thing is I can't get a spell off before that, so I'll have to steal no matter what. I guess if I go for it, I'd have to let Rean do it? I need to heal, though. Okay, I guess I do that and Rean takes it over. Yeah, that's gonna be the only way I can do things.
Hear me.
Flames, gather on my blade.
But I'm healing a kind of useless person right now.
Strike!
Here comes more ads. Whoa, he can go so many turns. Oh, something we got guarded. He just probably tried to insta-kill her. But she managed to get away with it. Brilliant! And now you're asleep with nightmares yet again. Oh, you missed as well? You are a fool. At this point, most of what we need to do now relies on us killing the boss as fast as humanly possible, it feels like. I mean, I can still get him for some brilliant spins and stuff.
No escape.
Which was keep killing off ads and, of course, refill a little bit there. Okay. You're going to be asleep till the end of time. That we've kind of given as a given now.
Hear me.
Let's make sure Rean's still ready to go.
My turn.
Do I try to cure you up or not bother? Cure status down restores 5p, recovery area large. Status down, not... I mean, this boss doesn't have much on it left, so a couple of S-graphs are actually going to finish the job. And I need to kind of get some abilities to do that. In terms of spells, what's his weakness again? Earth and Mirage. Or whatever. Space-time sept, whatever. Next move is basically how I want to play this. Do I bother healing you? It's nightmare she's under rather than sleep, isn't it?
Delicious.
Come on, Milliam, help us out a little bit. Help us out. I know you're unlikely to faint the guy, but still. You know what's best to help us out? Let's just move you way away.
Here I go.
Laura's still ready to go, and now you're actually ready to work, are you? We kind of need to bust all damage over here, don't we? Front-loading damage to the boss seems to be the goal at the moment. And then maybe busting out a couple of S-crafts to finish the job.
Yeah.
I want to get some spells off, but Earth is best against you. But I won't be able to get a spell off that's any good. Okay, we're going to attack with one more turn. And then we're going to S-break the hell out of this guy. Because we just got Gigant Blaker.
Great towers. pieces.
Still haven't killed him yet.
Come on, Lemmy!
Is this enough?
Gigantic Reaper!
Just about. Now that has some status effects we didn't have defense for. Nightmare.
Yeah, you didn't stand a chance!
Different kind of sleep of doom as we get 2.7%, well, 2.7 times total experience, not percent. We re-killed the ghost. The Nosferatu is down. Oh my goodness, experience. I'm guessing there's an experience cap then. Pretty good. Green's reached level 50 in the meantime. As Force reached level 5. CP now is 25 for enemy kills. CP 200 once per fight when below 20%. So a full S-craft power-wise. Gain a new ability. Raises strength when HP is low. 5 turns of strength plus 25% once per fight when below 20% HP as well. A Link level up. Emma Juices reached Link level 3 because he got 1 experience. More tier and counter attack between them. As we managed to win through. That was a harder bit one. Nightmare, eh? I know Rean is immune, and I know that Emma was immune, but yeah.
I did it!
Making progress.
Not bad.
I'm awesome.
Nice. That should suffice.
No new abilities, though.
Did we win?
What a terrifying opponent.
So that was...
Careful. Something still feels wrong.
What? Watch out!
Ugh.
Damn it!
How could I have been so careless? I had no idea it had this much power left. Laura! Are you okay? This is bad! Even Lammy can't move!
Looks like I've got no choice.
Rean, no! If you're not careful, you'll be drawn into it.
What are you?
What?
Huh?
What was that? Ugh.
Is everyone all right?
I'm fine. That was really bright.
What just happened?
I have no idea. It all happened so quickly.
I heard the sound of something piercing through the air.
Yeah, right through that orb, too. It looked like a lance. But how could someone hurl something that large with that much force?
A lance?
Yeah, and whoever threw it was standing right up there until just a moment ago. It was a golden-haired woman, shrouded by a strange light.
Golden hair, you say?
But that sounds just like...
Laura!
That's impossible.
What's everyone all excited about? Hey, wait for me!
there's no one here. Not that I honestly expected there would be.
That pale glow surrounding the castle seems to have disappeared, too.
Is that because the orb was destroyed?
That would mean the lance that destroyed it.
The Lance Maiden.
I thought it might have been her, but it seems like it was the Steel Maiden. Still, we really are out of time.
Ooh, you're moving up in the world.
And so our day ends with a rank up.
I've got a little reward here for you.
The Grail Locket. Tell me that is resist all status effects, please. As we reach 318 current AP. Another 22 to our next level.
Drinks are on me someday.
As we can get some drinks! Well, that brings an end to our second day. Now it's time for us to move over to another place. Thank you for all you've done for us during our stay, Klaus. Please have a safe journey, everyone. I apologize for not being more of a service to you during your long-awaited return home, my lady. With all that happened yesterday, you hardly had any time to relax and enjoy your visit. On the contrary, I had ample time to enjoy soaking in the atmosphere of home. And thanks to that wonderful, nutritious dinner after we returned from the castle so tired, I was able to sleep well too. Indeed, for all that happened, I feel surprisingly well rested today. I'm just glad the children were alright. It sounds like they got a real earful from their families, though. They deserved every minute. So just what was it we witnessed yesterday? Ah! Yeah, I'm still mulling over where that lance that saved our skins last night could have come from. I don't even know what you've told me, I'm afraid. There's not a doubt in my mind that it was Saint Sandlot. She must have sensed our peril confronting that strange spectre and chose to lend us a helping hand. Well, honestly, I can't think of an explanation that sounds any more plausible than that. Considering the situation, it's almost hard to believe it could have been anything else. Well, that's certainly true. It feels like everything that happened last night was some grand dream. I think that, of all of us, you have perhaps the least right to say that. Oh, actually, one of the accounts of St. Sandlot's death places it right around this time of year. So it's almost the anniversary, and last night was a full moon. So it doesn't seem all that implausible that a spirit might manifest itself somewhere like the castle. I've heard that account of St. Sandlot's death before. Hold on a minute. Even if all that stuff about St. Sandlot is true, that doesn't explain all the weird things you did yesterday. Well, I learned a lot about curses from my grandmother growing up, and working with barriers isn't all that difficult if you put your mind to it. Really? Well, I suppose I'll take your word for it. I'm not sure I can say the same. I'll be sure to inform the Viscount of all that transpired here. In the meantime, you should be heading off to the next location you're to visit for your field study. I hope your journey is a safe and pleasant one. Thank you. Take care, Klaus, and give my regards to Father. The same to you, my lady. I hope we shall all have the opportunity to meet again. As do I. I'd enjoy the opportunity to test my own swordsmanship against you in the future. I wish you all the best. We still have some time left before the train comes, so we can tell everyone goodbye as we make our way to the station. That sounds good. Let's be off then. So we're actually staying in town for a little bit here? Good time to say goodbye to everyone. We just kind of barely came through that battle in some respects. Force is now level 5. I wonder what, like... Oh, that's his maximum level. I was about to say, I wonder what level it gets to next. I mean, CP is 25 per enemy killed. I mean, a group of 4 with a large S-craft and you instantly kill everyone. But that's kind of a boring way to play. Very unbalanced way to play. I'm not saying that Quartz is balanced in any way, shape or form. Aren't we a higher level before we even get to Garrelia Fortress than we were when we got to Garrelia Fortress before? I don't know anymore. I believe you'll be making your way to Garrelia Fortress next, correct? Please do take care. I look forward to our next meeting. We're stronger. Right, say goodbye to everyone, you say. Which was Laura's actual room again? We never got a "this is my room" thing. I hope you all come and visit again if you get the chance. I'll have plenty of food ready for you whenever you do. Take care on your journey back, Lady Laura. Hey, by the way, Guy, you're a chef and you didn't give me a single recipe.
I am very disappointed. Oh yes, please take this book with you for your journey. It's apparently quite the interesting read, so I'm hoping it will help the long train ride pass more quickly. Now I've got 2. I can't believe that you're already leaving. It feels as though you only just arrived. Please do be careful on the journey home. Got 2 books now. I haven't read them. I look forward to seeing you all again. Oh my goodness, and they're so long I might actually read one now. Before we take our journey proper. Super long goodnight story. What about we do one now and then we do one in a bit? Game hints what the game wants to hit. Maybe we should say goodbye to everyone first. Like there's a missable waiting, right? Game knows how to mess with us. But at least the game was kind enough to tell us. Still fighting? Sounds like those 2 kids are thinking long and hard about what they did. If they truly wish to become stronger, they'll come and join us here in the training hall. I'd be more than happy to train them. God, martial art is growing from kids upwards. They become ridiculous good. I saw a weird light over the castle again last night. That was seriously St. Sandlot? Man, I'm stoked I was able to see her. You just get all that flexibility as you grow up, and you just... It's hard to train a kid, but once like they really get serious about it, man, when they reach like the age 16 or 17, it's stupid good. A lot happened last night, huh? I guess all's well that ends well. Hope you have a safe journey on the rest of your field study. There's no finer way to spend the morning than training. Take care on your way back, everyone. You're always welcome to come back and challenge us another time. Be sure to keep honing our skills in the meantime. Man, I'm very strong. You should get some coffee before story time. Well, I'm going to start. After I visit the church. Maybe I'll read a vampire story in the church. Would that be a bit wrong? Would that be blasphemous? We ask these questions. I really was losing myself in my panic yesterday evening. Meanwhile, Father Hamilcar remained calm and collected throughout it all. I never would have been able to calm down were it not for him either. Responsive as he may be, perhaps there's more to him than meets the eye. Indeed, Father Hamilcar. Well, technically, it's really of, like, one of the church kind of people in this world kind of thing. I don't know. What's his I heard about St. Sandlot showing up last night? I just wish I was there to catch a glimpse of her for myself. I have plenty of material for my stories. Read a vampire fanfiction to a nun. Why not? You said it's a fanfiction. It's an actual novel here. That's not fanfiction. It's an actual novel. Alright, we got 2 copies of Red Moon Rose. Battle in the Catacomb is 28 pages, and Into the Darkness is 30 pages. Oh my god. We're on to our joint longest chapter again, and our joint second longest chapter as well, following up from that. 58 pages, yeah, I'm going to read one now, and then we're going to read one in a couple of hours' time. Chapter 10, Into the Darkness. Should have read it when I got it, didn't know I'd get a book. Ordinarily, the late hour was the peak of business for the Allegria Tavern. On any other day, the chairs would all be filled with familiar faces, chattering away and enjoying food and drink. But tonight, not a single seat was taken, for so great was the terror of the vampire murders that none dared leave their homes. Left with nothing else to do, Luca set about cleaning the tavern. The task was quickly finished. She slouched at the spotless counter, thoroughly bored. There hadn't been any sign of her friend Alphonse that day. Still, considering the rumours she had heard of the guard team's nighttime patrols, it wasn't all that surprising. He must be really busy, she thought to herself. Still, she couldn't pretend that she wasn't disappointed by the fact. Thoughts of Alphonse weighing on her mind, she let out a gloomy sigh. The tavern owner stopped washing cutlery on the other side of the counter and gave her a warm smile. Go along home today. It's dangerous around these parts lately, so you're best getting back, he called. Just as she went to do so, however, the bell over the door chimed. A customer had entered the tavern. Luca jumped out of a chair in a panic. What she saw made her gasp. Standing in the doorway of the tavern was a young man in a blood-stained soldier's uniform. Letting out a short streak of horror, she rushed over to the man. The uniform he had on was the same as the one worn by Alphonse, leading her to immediately think it might be him. As she drew closer though, she realised it wasn't. Relief washed over her. Getting a closer look at his face, Luca was startled to find that she actually recognised him. A long time ago when Alphonse had first joined the army, he had brought the man before her with him to visit the tavern. She remembered hearing that the two of them weren't on very good terms anymore, however. His name was Elroy? The tavern's owner hurried over with a first aid kit, clearly concerned, but Elroy showed no interest in him. His eyes was focused unwaveringly on Luca. Hello, friend of Alphonse. I'm going to have to ask you to come with me, he muttered. His following smile was anything but inviting. By the time Alphonse and Rose arrived, the tavern was in a terrible state. Chairs were strewn everywhere, tables lay in pieces all about the space, and the floor was covered in smashed glass and broken crockery. On the other side of the counter, they found the owner, blood trickling from his temple. Calmly, Rose used the church's thaumaturgy to heal him. His mysterious power closed his wound, and soon after he regained consciousness. The second he did, Alphonse began to bombard him with questions. What happened here? Where's Luca? He couldn't see any sign of her, and that worried him intensely. A boy in a military uniform came. No, that was no human. It was a monster. I tried to fight him off, but he took Luca. The moment he uttered Luca's name, he felt unconscious once again. Not long after, the soldiers who had been patrolling the surrounding area heard what had happened and hurried to the scene. The area soon filled with the sounds of people's voices and soldiers running up and down the streets. Even a number of the local residents had woken up and begun to scatter to see what was going on. Eventually, Gerard himself arrived and set about questioning the tavern's owner and investigating the scene with a number of his subordinates. Alphonse and Rose, meanwhile, stood in the shadow of a building not far away. Damn you, Elroy! Alphonse cried as he punched one of the brick walls with all his might. Nearby, Rose stood with her arms folded, deep in thought. Stay calm. We have every reason to believe that Luca is still alive. Elroy had fled to search for new blood to heal his injuries and increase his power. If he was intending to use Luca for that purpose, there was no reason to take her away. It would have been far quicker and easier to just drink her blood in the tavern. Unless it was safe to assume that he had a different purpose in mind for her, and the most likely reason seemed to be to use her to lure them somewhere. I suspect that I know where he was headed, said Rose. She pointed down at the ground below their feet. During the previous day's encounters with Elroy, he had summoned a large number of ghouls out of seemingly nowhere, each of them victims without families or friends to note their absence. Elroy had been abducting them in secret and storing them somewhere for when he wanted them, and there was every reason to believe there were more. To stash them, he would need quite a sizable area, but it also had to be one where the chance of them being found would be quite low. In other words, a place no one really went. A perfect match for both those conditions was a network of underground passages beneath the city. The tunnels had been built during the Dark Ages several hundred years prior, and were not normally used by people. Somewhere in there, Rose theorized, Elroy was probably waiting for them. Alphonse proposed that they depart immediately. After all, every second they waited increased the danger that Luca was in. Rose, however, stood silently, her eyes cast downward. Something bothering you? Alphonse asked. Her mouth tightened. Two things, in fact. Firstly, I suspect that Elroy is what is known as an elder vampire. There were, Rose explained, several kinds of vampires. Those who were legitimate descendants of the race were known as true ancestors. The true ancestors were said to have all perished, but those who were closely related to them were known as elder vampires. Unlike true ancestors, some elder vampires still remained. Elder vampires were filled with a lust for blood every 10 or so years, and in surrendering themselves to that lust, they had been responsible for countless deaths throughout history. As a vampire hunter, therefore, they were Rose's most important targets. Furthermore, they were apparently among the most powerful of all vampires with exceptional growth potential. An example of this, Rose explained that when Luca was first attacked, she had been guided to a deserted area by a high-level ability called Charm, which allowed the user to control the thoughts of their victim to a certain degree. It was finding out that Luca had lost her memories of what happened when she was attacked, and that had first alerted Rose to the possibility that Elroy might be an elder vampire. And that was what had first led her to try to distance Alphonse from her investigation. The fact that they might be dealing with an elder vampire was only one of her concerns, however, though the other was closely related to it. The astonishing power elder vampires possess is amplified even further at night. Because of that, it should be impossible for them to be able to disguise their presence completely. And yet, in the battle against Elroy earlier, he had been able to do just that, allowing him to make his escape. It so surprised Rose that she had missed her chance to finish him off. It's possible that he is no ordinary elder vampire, or perhaps he is something even more terrifying, she mused aloud. They had no way of telling what Elroy was truly capable of, or even what he truly was. As such, it was impossible to gauge how much danger they would be putting themselves in by following him, especially knowing that they would be walking right into a trap. While she had no choice but to follow, she found herself questioning whether bringing Alphonse along would really be a good idea. The reservation must have been plain on her face because Alphonse cut off her thoughts with a determined shake of the head. Rose, I've told you already that I'm not gonna die. I won't let you be alone ever again. I don't care how strong our opponent is. I'm not gonna go back on my word. The resolve was clear and unwavering in his eyes. With or without her blessing, he would see it through to the end. He could not, would not, abandon someone living a life of solitude like he once did. The pure innocence of that emotion and empathy was enough to recall her own bleak loneliness. Her dark feelings passed over her features like a cloud obscuring the stars. There was, after all, one other secret she had yet to part with, and that, more than anything, was the cause of her solitude.
The warmth of his words almost coaxed it from her lips, so moved was she. But now wasn't the time. For the moment, his heartfelt declaration was enough for her. Their priority needed to be saving his friend. Everything else could wait. "I'm sorry," she said. "I thought I'd overcome my hesitations, but it seems that wasn't the case." With a mental shake of the head, she pushed her doubts deep within and slowly moved her hand downwards towards her waist. Her fingers sought out her spare blade, an elegant longsword, and clipping it from her belt, she handed it to Alphonse. "It should serve as a replacement for that broken saber. I imagine you'll be able to fight more comfortably with this." Alphonse hefted it in his hand, admiring the balance. He slipped it a hand's width out of the scabbard for a closer look. Like Rose's other purified weapons, it had a silvery glow that seemed to suck in the light of the red moon. A blow from a blade like this would surely stop a vampire in its tracks. Rose had always known that the short sword she had given Alphonse was hardly the ideal weapon for him. She had done this deliberately, hoping that having an unsuitable weapon would dissuade him from trying to get actively involved in battle. And yet, not once had he balked at entering the fray. With whatever resources he had at his disposal, Alphonse was always ready to jump right in. Giving him the longsword, therefore, was a sign that she now regarded him as someone worthy of trust and an apology for underestimating him previously. Alphonse acknowledged the gift and perhaps apology with a nod of the head and attached the blade to his sturdy leather baldric. They regarded one another for a moment then and swore to do what needed to be done. Their mutual resolve reaffirmed, they took off into the deep darkness where Luca and the vampire waited. Next to Heimdall, there flowed a great river known as the Anor. Facing out onto it was Heimdall Port, and in one corner of the port was a door that led down into an underground passage. Oh, now that we've been... Oh, sorry for breaking that, but now that we've been there, we can actually envision the areas that we're talking about. The entrance was usually locked for safety reasons, but they forced it open without much trouble and stepped inside. The air within was a mixture of mould, rusting metal, and a pervasive smell of damp. Cautiously they moved along the slick stone path, ears and eyes strained for any movement. The tunnel was connected to the river itself, and the torpid water flowed all the way into the deep darkness further along the passage. It had been constructed during the Dark Ages, and the network of passages under the city was so vast that no one knew just how far it stretched, or exactly what lay within it. The entire area had long been abandoned. No maintenance or modernization had ever been done. To Alphonse's eyes, it looked as though they were setting foot in some ancient labyrinth untouched by time or man for hundreds of years. They proceeded deeper inside, following Elroy's trail along the waterway with only the faintest of light and the red moon trickling through the periodic grates to illuminate their path. A scent coming from him had returned in full force, filling the air with tension as they drew closer and closer to their quarry. They proceeded cautiously and more slowly now, as even the light from the moon eventually abandoned them during their descent. The pitch darkness did not last for long, however. As they advanced, they soon started to come across torches here and there, attached at intervals along the wall. The glow from the flickering light was both inviting and sinister. "It looks like it really has been using this place as a hideout for quite a while," Alphonse commented. He and others, Rose thought with distaste. It seemed very likely that the people Elroy had abducted were somewhere around too. No sooner had the thought crossed her mind than she sensed movement. She sighed. "It looks as though we're too late." The meaning of Rose's words soon became clear. Slowly but surely a number of figures drew closer to them from ahead. They shuffled and jerked with unnatural cadence. Ghouls. While Elroy had abducted Luca without drinking her blood, it seemed as though he had used the other people he'd been keeping here in her place. Alphonse couldn't help but feel a slight sense of relief when he realized that Luca wasn't among them, but that didn't prove for certain that she was still unharmed. After all, Elroy needed to do to get them to chase after him was have them believe that there was a chance that she was still alive. As the creatures approached, it was clear that they had no time to waste. Alphonse quickly drew the longsword, while Rose already had a Templar's sword and pistol in hand, ready for battle. "We need to deal with this first." "Right." Their course of action decided, they both charged into the horde of advancing ghouls. It was the first time that Alphonse had been forced to engage in actual combat with ghouls, and he found it emotionally draining. After all, the ghouls were nothing more than victims of the vampire. They hadn't chosen to have their lives taken away, or to be compelled to seek to devour their fellows, and it had all been forced upon them. As such, he was not fighting to kill them, but to free them. Thinking of it logically didn't do much to reduce the pain of taking up arms against another human being, though. His heart ached every time he cut one down. Rose, meanwhile, was mowing down ghouls like a scythe through the summer harvest. They were nothing more than obstacles in her way, and their shambling attacks were no match for her peerless work with the blade. No matter the speed and skill with which she dispatched them, though, more ghouls emerged from the darkness to block her path. Watching her, Alphonse couldn't help but wonder how long she'd been enduring the same pain that he was feeling now.
It didn't show on her face, but he remembered the tenderness with which she had handled the ghoul after defeating it on their first meeting. She was as disgusted as he with their plight. He wanted to know what had driven her to continue subjecting herself to that pain over and over again, what had driven her to the depths of solitude. And most of all, he wanted to find some way that he could be of help to her. Right now, however, all that he could do for her was to continue to fight. Shoving down the sorrow he felt with every swing of the sword that met flesh, he kept advancing forward through the mass of bodies before him. Using the torches on the walls as their beacons, Alphonse and Rose hurried as best they could through the maze of passages. Dozens upon dozens of ghouls obstructed their path, but they continued to carve their way forward. They advanced but slowly, each battle taking a toll on their stamina and energy. Eventually the path ahead of them opened, and they found themselves in a wide, spacious area. The ground here was grey and soft beneath their feet. It was earth, not stone. A number of crosses were lined up in tidy rows in the sweeping space, probably erected during the Dark Ages. Their bindings looked so weathered that they could have crumbled to the ground at any moment. The area was lit only by a few spluttering torches, but it was enough to see that they must be in a catacomb of some sort. The atmosphere in the subterranean tomb was even gloomier than it had been in the passages they had passed through to reach it. At its center stood a single silent man wearing a black coat over his tattered army uniform. Alphonse had been leaning exhaustedly against Rose after their seemingly endless battles with the ghouls, but when he spied the familiar figure, he let out a mighty yell. "Elroy!" His voice boomed through the chamber, but the other man didn't flinch in the slightest. Instead, he calmly turned to face them. The air grew heavy with malevolence. "I've been expecting you," he said, smiling. He regarded them with amusement. As his lips crept farther and farther up, his needle-sharp fangs were slowly revealed. They were stained a deep, wet red. That's the end of chapter 10. Another 30 pages read. How long did that take? I get the pun. I was a bit worried for a second there that you thought the story actually sucked. I'm quite enamoured by it, but you might not be. I was like, why are you saying it sucks? Oh, you're not. Look, everyone's lined up to say goodbye to me. It's time to continue on with the story. But, of course, we'll talk to people on our way out. It's the Free Laura Admirers.
It's my turn.
Of course.
Lady Laura, the three of us made lunch for you, so please take it. Celestial pasta soup times 3. Thank you. I'm sure it'll be delicious. We hope you enjoy it. Oh, we packed enough for your lady friends too. Wait, what about us? You did muster up an admirable performance yesterday, I suppose. But don't forget, we won't forgive you if you get too close to Lady Laura. Lest you blithely forget, take these as a helpful reminder. Roasted fry-ups. I don't think I need the wind to clue me into what they're implying. Must this petulant gaggle be annoying right to the very end? They gave me the ruined stuff. You three did assist Lady Laura last night, so you have my thanks. But that still doesn't excuse you for getting all close and personal with her. You need to keep your distance from her, got it? We shan't forgive you otherwise. Assassins in the night. They will come for me. Please be careful on your way back. Hope you continue to flower in the fertile soil of Academy life, Lady Laura. Do come back and visit Legram again soon. The fact that you'll be leaving us again means that my days of pining for your soon return will begin anew. Please be careful on your journey, Lady Laura. I will be. Don't worry. Seems like Julian and Kana were trying to form a little group. The Junior Eisenrehr, they were calling it. They may have had us all worried, but that's an idea only a kid from Legram would dream up. To tell you the truth, I once tried to do the same thing when I was a child, as did my father. So he's quite okay with it. It's kind of a cool thing. Cute kids, trying stuff, getting themselves in danger, nearly dying. You know, that kind of thing. Anything new in the shop? Now that we want to move on? Doesn't seem it, does it? Well, we'll probably be able to buy new stuff. I don't know if it'll be new stuff, but definitely stuff where we're going next. It really is sad to see you all go. I look forward to the day when you all come back to visit Legram. Of course, it'd be nice if you could enjoy a more relaxed stay next time. Wouldn't it? We can't relax. Not for the life of me. Alright, I've already got all the good stuff there. I'm not allowed to relax. Don't you understand this? Oh, wait a second. We may as well just make sure I've got my monetary supplies filled up after all. What? I got 5,000 of certain separate thing at the moment? I really need to hit the academy and just, like, see what I can make as upgraded gems at this point, don't I? See if I can get an attack free with an extra bit on it. That'd be nice. Stuff like that. I'm really in a depth for saving Kana last night. I told him it was dangerous, but he just wouldn't listen. come on, Mum, I'm fine now. Don't you realize how much I'm worried about you? I know, so just stop crying, okay? She's been like this ever since we got back. I'm really sorry for making everyone worry last night. I don't deserve to call myself a man after making my mum cry. Maybe I should just put my junior Olizandri dreams on hold until I'm a more dependable man. Or you can start training up at the gym, the dojo. Anyway, thank you so much. Please be careful on your journey back. Perry gives the word. Catch you later, doggy. Can't hear doggy without... Never mind. Hello, doggy. My favorite customer. I don't know. Right, someone on the pier. The fisherman's over there. These past 2 days have certainly flown by. It'll be a shame to see you all go. Meanwhile, Celia and my friends have been beside themselves with despair all morning at the thought of you leaving. Please do come back to Legram if you get the chance. Everyone here would be glad to welcome you all once again. No, not the boys, only the girls. Only the girls are allowed. Fogs around the castle last night just wafted away all of a sudden. It's got to be an omen of St. Sunlot's return from above. The spirits must have summoned her to save the children. Do they believe that people can come back from the other side of death? It'd be more interesting to figure out all the other religious beliefs of things going on, but actually someone's staying in here. It's Annabelle! Oh my, don't tell me. Are you planning on moving on to new fishing grounds? I cannot allow you all to continue outdoing me. I have every intention of catching up to you, so let us meet again! Right, that sounds swell. She's quite the strange one, isn't she? Come on, Annabelle. I'll engage you in fishing competition, Ree. That's fine by me. Yeah, you better apologise. Really can't thank you all enough for last night. I've given this fool the scolding of a lifetime too, so don't you worry about that. Take care on your journey back. Good luck with your studies. Be careful on your way back, everyone. I'm still not really sure what happened back at the castle, but maybe it was Adios telling us not to misbehave anymore. Dad really let me have it when I got home too, so I'll be careful from now on. I'm sure you will. You better be. I'm not coming back to rescue you again. Right then, I'll be taking Julian along with me to pray today. It's all thanks to Adios and the spirits that he returned safely after all. Not offering our prayers to them would be the height of disrespect. I'm guessing the Bracer Guild is all locked up. After all, that's what we were supposed to do. Obviously, we failed completely at one of our tasks. I thought we were supposed to leave it nicely for the next person to come along. Oh well. I guess we also can't take the key with us, can we? I'd imagine the key gets left with Klaus, though. Oh well. Bye-bye, Legram. Onwards to the game's prologue. Here we go. We still seem to have a little time before the next train leaves. What should we do? It might be best to just wait in the station until the train arrives. I'll go in, but I'm just going to wait outside a second just so I can quickly save. Gotta make sure I have save points just in case missables. Just in case. And in we go. Yeah, let's go wait inside. We need to buy our tickets to the trip to Garrelia Fortress too. Hey Eustace, wanna buy me some snacks? Buy your own food. Lively as ever, I see. Let's head in then. I'd rather wait outside, it's a nice view. I want to be in the station. Ah! Our shadow keeps on coming. See the castle for a second there. Wait, it's gone again. Well, the forest is quite dense around here. Still, we saw a lot of weird things in that castle. There was one thing after another from the moment we walked through the door. What are you looking at me for? Never mind. That was pretty great. Did you have this much fun on all your field studies? I just wish it was a little longer. Those 2 days went by so quickly. Well, the field study isn't over. We're on our way to our next location, so don't relax just yet.
It looks like I must say farewell to Legram once again, for the time being. I wasn't expecting to, but I can't help but feel a little homesick already. I can understand why. It was a really welcoming place. I never get the sense that social classes were keeping people apart. True. Seems like a place that we nobles could learn much from. I'd definitely like to visit again in the future. It'd be great to bring Fee and the others next time too. You're more than welcome in Legram anytime. I can only hope I'll continue to learn and grow between now and when I next return. She just wants to solo Klaus, that's it. After leaving Legram, we changed trains at Belehard Station and rode the Kreuzern main line north, heading toward Keldik. Quite a way to go by the look of it. So Belehard would then go upwards and left, I think. Bridge of Twin Dragons. Alright, let's go over our schedule again. We're currently en route to Keldik, where we'll rendezvous with Group B. Now we take the Transcontinental Railroad to Corellia Fortress on the Empire's eastern border. Galia Fortress is one of the Imperial Army's largest strongholds. It's sometimes referred to as the wall that protects the nation from the threat of the Cowbird Republic. I've heard it's ludicrously gigantic, almost an icon of military excess. It also houses the 2 railway guns and has a military exercise ground on the premises. Well, those are the weapons that Gwyn said he regretted constructing. Yeah, they're those 2 massive orbital cannons pointing toward the east at Calvard. More specifically, they're aimed at the buffer zone between us and them, Crossbell State. They are pretty crazy, yeah. It's like you're looking at a mountain of iron. I was pretty overwhelmed when I first saw them. Wait, you've actually seen the railway guns in person? Yeah, Gramps took Claire, Lecter, and me to see them this one time. These are the mightiest weapons wrought by the hands of man since the Great Collapse. I want you to consider what it means that such weapons have been placed here. Well, something like that anyway. To consider what it means. He has a flair for the dramatic, I'll give him that. Kind of think of it, today's the day, isn't it? A day that the Chancellor is scheduled to depart for Crossbell with Prince Olivert. Guess the trade conference kind of snuck up on us, huh? I think that's where Lecter's going too. I want to go to Crossbell! There's supposed to be this really famous theatre group there. And they have a huge theme park, right? That's what I've heard, though you probably know more about it than I do. Apparently, President Towa is going as part of the entourage to further her studies. Really? She never fails to impress. I hear she's been getting job offers from a bunch of different companies ready to hire her right after graduation. Well, she does merit the high esteem people lavish on her. She's the pride of the Academy. So at 9:30, do we reach Keldik? We started off pretty early then. Thought reading the story would have taken me an hour or so. All passengers disembarking here in Keldik, please exit the platform via the bridge. I repeat, do not approach the rope barriers on platform 1. You didn't actually say that, so that's not a repetition. Just pointing out. Passengers wishing to travel on the Transcontinental Railroad, please wait on platform 2. Ah, nice and easy switch. What's going on here? Well, this security feels kind of ominous. It seems the railway military police is guarding the opposite platform. Yeah, I wonder if...
Well, isn't this quite the coincidence?
Captain Claire!
It's Claire! Did you come to see me?
Just a coincidence, I'm afraid. Eisengraf will be passing through here soon, so this station's operating under heightened security.
Oh, right!
Still, I'm happy to see you again. It's been, what, 2 months since I last saw you?
She really is attached to Captain Claire. Yeah, almost like sisters. Hard to believe both of them are Ironbloods. At any rate, good day everyone. Let me thank you again for all your help during the recent crisis in Heimdall. Don't worry about it. We simply did our duty as citizens of the Empire. More importantly, what's the meaning of all this extra security? And what is this Eisengraph you mentioned? As in iron count, right? We'll see what I mean soon enough. A special express train will momentarily be passing by platform 1. This train will be passing through at high speed, so travelers on the platform are advised to exercise caution. A special express train? It couldn't be. Right on time. There's Toa, and there's Prince Oliver. So that was the Eisengraph. Come to think of it, I've heard rumours of a special Crimson train. It's supposedly reserved for use by members of the Imperial government. I've been on it before. It's really fast. It's pretty fancy inside too. The Eisengraph, or the Iron Count in the common parlance, was so titled in honour of Chancellor Osborne himself. Well, I do hear him called the Blood and Iron Chancellor all the time, so I can understand the Iron part. But isn't the Chancellor a commoner by birth? He is indeed. However, he was granted the title of Count by His Majesty when he was made Chancellor 11 years ago. Supposedly that's what led to the train being given its name shortly thereafter. I see. Doubt he, of all people, sees any worth in titles or peerage. Rean? Yeah? Is something bothering you? Your attention seems elsewhere. Still feeling tired after yesterday? No, not really. I'm just having to catch a glance of Toa and Prince Oliver on the train as they pass by. Wow, I'm surprised you could even make them out. You must have a hawk's eye to be able to see them when the Eisengraph whooshed by so quickly. Nah, it was probably just a coincidence. It was more than just a glance though. I could see them clearly, in detail. What was that just now? Well, as long as you're not feeling unwell. We would like to thank all passengers for their cooperation with today's security measures. Transcontinental Railway service bound for Crosswell State now arriving on platform 2. Here it comes. Yeah, looks like we didn't have to wait long after all. So even Rean didn't know what happened to him. He didn't do that deliberately. And meeting each other's gaze at a point like that? That would be very freaky. Very freaky indeed. Hey, there they are. Rean, over here. Come on, we haven't got all day. We saved you some seats. Well, you'll excuse us, Captain. See you later, Claire. Of course. Have a safe trip, everyone. There he is. I was wondering where you were up to. Or what you were up to. Ho ho ho! Who's that classy looking babe? I should have just stayed on the train. You want to get on? I'm not going to Crosswell State, but isn't that kind of the way? The beeps were going. Hurry up and get on. We received word from Squad 8.
No unusual movements have been detected in the Twin Dragons Bridge. We've also received word from Squad 21. They report all high-speed armored cars are in position. Understood. Remain vigilant until the Eisengraph has finished passing through. Once it reaches Crossbell City, have all squads switch to Phase D. Yes, ma'am. Are you sure the Imperial Liberation Front will show themselves? They will. I'm certain of it. I'm fearful that we can play Blade now, because that would mean I have a hell of a lot of potential losses coming up. I see. Sounds like Group A had quite an eventful couple of days too. Yeah, though I find it kind of hard to believe you could have seen the ghost of the Sandlot. That's ridiculous. Are you sure you weren't just hallucinating or something? You can think whatever you like. We totally saw her, I swear. Well, ghost or not, there was definitely someone there beside us. Anyway, that's enough about ghosts and spirits for the time being. I'm more concerned about the affairs of the living, like where Toval and the Radiant Blade Master went. It sounds like Duke Cayenne is up to something too, and he's not someone we can afford to take lightly. We didn't run into anything like that in the Yurai Special Economic Zone. Though, I guess it makes sense seeing as it's under the direct control of the Imperial Governor non-noble. I seem to recall that it was annexed 8 years ago, is that right? Yeah, the Empire stitched it on nice and neat, without much opposition. Now it's prospering as a special economic zone on the coast. Seemed like a pretty lively place. And the revenue generated from taxes there goes directly to the Imperial government's coffers, instead of the pockets of the nobility. It's hardly a mystery why the reformers think so highly of it. Well, that aside, I'm a little concerned about the upcoming trade conference in Crossbell. Same goes with the Imperial Liberation Front. They've been awfully quiet since that show they put on last month. Now you mention it, that does seem rather suspicious. Does that relate somehow to why we're going to Garrelia Fortress? Well, it's not the main reason, but it's not entirely unrelated. I'll let you look forward to finding out all about it when we get to the fortress itself. Anyway, how many of you have passed through Galia Fortress by train before? I see. Just us, huh? I can't wait to see everyone's first reactions. True. Why is that? Well, I've seen it in photographs at least. A camera can't really capture how ridiculous it is. Yep. It's supposed to be this macho gateway to the Empire, but it just seems like it's trying way too hard. What's that supposed to mean? The gateway to the Empire and one of the largest military bases in the country. I look forward to the chance to see in person then. They didn't just build like a gigantic dong bridge, did they? I don't mean to make the crude joke here, but that's a country trying way too hard. The train carrying Class 7 continues its ride on the transcontinental line, heading toward the east. They pass through the Twin Dragons Bridge, a Khoisan provincial army base, and several stations later, it was finally time to pass through Corellia Fortress, which loomed large on the border with Crossbell State. And it only took us to 11:20. The Ministry of Railways wishes to thank all passengers for their patronage. The next stop is Garrelia Fortress, Garrelia Fortress. This train will stop for 5 minutes. Please be aware that only authorized personnel may disembark at the station. Be advised that all onboard photography is strictly prohibited within the fortress and is punishable by imperial law. Any attempt at unauthorized recording may result in the confiscation of your equipment or detention by the authorities. Wow, that was kind of... It sounded pretty severe for a train announcement. Well, we are passing through a military facility. I don't think they're being unreasonable. Do you really think that's the issue here? I'm not sure having that be one of the first things foreign visitors hear gives a very good impression of the country. Oh, we're finally here. What in Adius' name is that? I always like to welcome people into my country with no beauty whatsoever. The scale is just... This is Garrelia Fortress? The entire place is built from iron and concrete. Just how much money has the army dumped into building all of this? Yep, that was about as entertaining as I'd hope. Well, I'm surprised. I thought the same things when I first saw it. On the crossbell side, all you can see is a cliff, though. Yeah, but those 2 railway guns still poke out through it. Hey, instructor, what did you bring us out here to show us? What else? We're here so you can see the true essence of what makes an army. What comprises the military's strength and forms its foundation. What other place in the Empire has that on display as clearly as here? After seeing quite a lot of Erebonia, this gate is not a good first impression. You personally think, personally, I think less of a country than that it's grand and cool. Who are they? Engineers and tradesmen mostly. You see a lot of them around here. Keeping a fortress this size up and running is a full-time job for more than just the military's people. So it seems. It's almost like its own town here. Just think of the maintenance on the iron walls. The rust. I know they paint it and try to like rust protect it, but still. I just think the maintenance of that place is terrible. On the other side of this fortress is more or less a straight shot to Croswell City, right? Being such a bustling center of trade is so close to a massive military facility like this. Yeah, Croswell City is only about 30 minutes away by train. On top of the fortress, you can even see the skyscraper where the trade conference is going to take place.
I see you've arrived.
Oh.
Instructor Neidhart!
Good morning, Major Neidhart. Instructor Valestein of Thors Military Academy, homeroom teacher for Class VII. Reporting the arrival of myself and all students in my care.
Acknowledging your arrival at 11:30 hours. Welcome to Garrelia Fortress. In addition to my teaching duties at the Academy, I hold the rank of Major in the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I'll be acting as your guide, as well as your instructor for special lectures during your time here at the fortress. Now, if you'll follow me,